The film opens on an extraterrestrial world, showcasing bizarre life forms inhabiting an equally strange landscape. We then cut to a research facility on Earth, where scientist Alistair is frantically trying to get his colleague, Dean's, attention. Alistair has detected unusual energy fluctuations, but Dean, preoccupied with an upcoming family visit, dismisses them as routine. He tells Alistair to discuss it with the head researcher, Dr. Nolan, and his assistant, Jillian. Jillian and Nolan are excited about their work at the facility. Nolan, whose father was a prominent scientist, is particularly enthusiastic. Jillian, who earned her position through hard work, feels a bit threatened by Nolan's presence, given his connections. They discuss their academic backgrounds, discovering they're both highly qualified. Nolan introduces himself formally, highlighting the facility's strict security protocols and joking about the extensive background checks. He mentions his father's influence and then offers them a tour, explaining that Dean has a surprise in store. As they tour the facility, Nolan explains the advanced weaponry and security measures. They pass a lab where a previous experiment went awry. The tour is interrupted by a message for Nolan to report to the observation room. He leaves Jillian and Nolan, explaining that in 1951, they detected a strange signal leading to the discovery of a rift, a kind of wormhole, emitting unusual frequencies. The facility monitors this rift, and while most signals dissipate, one seems to be heading towards Kepler-22b, a potentially habitable planet light years away. Dean arrives, greeting Jillian and Nolan with professional detachment. He informs Nolan that Alistair is waiting in the containment chamber. Nolan departs to meet Alistair, and Dean takes Jillian and Nolan to observe the rift. It's a swirling vortex of energy. Dean explains that Alistair believes the rift is growing stronger, although theories about its behavior are constantly evolving. Alistair thinks a major event will occur when it reaches a critical level. As they observe the rift, a blinding light erupts, and something moves within the vortex. Nolan approaches for a closer look, and a grotesque alien creature emerges, attacking him. More aliens follow, creating chaos. Dean, Jillian, and Nolan escape in a vehicle, witnessing the carnage as scientists and personnel are slaughtered. Dean decides to take them to a secure location, an abandoned military bunker called Wainwright Base, a relic from the past, used when the facility's systems were upgraded. He assures Nolan that his mother will be safe and suggests contacting her. Jillian is worried about her parents, who live on the other side of the facility. Dean plans to drop them off at the bunker, then go after Jillian's parents, advising them to stay inside. They try to contact their families, but find the network jammed by the rift's interference. Nolan suggests using an old radio. They tune into emergency broadcasts, hearing reports of strange creatures emerging from a nearby military base. Nolan questions how the situation is under control. Nolan spots his mother's car and alerts Dean. Dean is confused by the lack of security presence. He instructs everyone to be quiet and stay close to avoid attracting the creatures. They find Nolan's mother, Helen, and another woman, Elaine, with a man. Dean warns them to be quiet, emphasizing the danger. Helen reveals she forgot her medication. A sergeant approaches, declaring the area restricted. Dean identifies himself as a senior official from Area 51 and demands access, citing the emergency. The sergeant reluctantly opens the door, allowing them inside just as soldiers open fire on approaching aliens. Inside the bunker, tensions rise. Dean asks if everyone is alright. The man angrily retorts that they almost died, having screamed for help for 15 minutes. A soldier apologizes, explaining he was following orders. Dean tries to calm everyone, asking who's in charge. The soldier says it's Lieutenant Bain. Jillian expresses concern for her parents, but Dean reassures her. He decides to speak with Bain first and asks the sergeant to lead the way. As they walk through the bunker, the soldier points out remnants of an old training program. Dean asks about the situation outside, but the soldier says Bain will provide details. He describes the bunker's layout: living quarters on the top floor, the command center in the middle, and industrial areas and a secondary exit on the bottom. He mentions that only a few personnel are present, with more expected soon. Dean and the soldier meet Lieutenant Bain. Bain suggests dropping formalities given the circumstances. He admits they know nothing about the creatures. Dean explains that he was a director at Area 51 and describes the rift's critical state. Bain is skeptical but listens. He says their priority is the bunker security, but they're understaffed and low on supplies. Dean requests access to communications. Bain agrees, but asks who's with him. Dean lists his family, Nolan, Jillian, and 2 civilians, 1 injured. Elaine helps Helen, who is very ill, to a bed. The man offers to get her water, but she declines. Elaine expresses concern about Helen's condition. Helen refuses to go to the infirmary, worried they'll be expelled. She asks Elaine for antibiotics. Elaine leaves to find them. After she leaves, worms are visible in the bowl where Helen vomited. Jillian contacts her father via radio. He's relieved to hear from her, mentioning creatures everywhere. Jillian tells him to go to the factory compound. The signal breaks up before he can confirm the location. Jillian insists they rescue her parents. Dean assures her he will, explaining he knows the area well. As Dean prepares to leave with 2 soldiers, they encounter an alien. They drive away. At the meeting point, Jillian's parents are absent. They decide to check another entrance. Dean speculates that if they avoided the main entrance, they might have used the service road. They hear a hissing sound, and the soldiers urge caution. They find a sewer entrance and go inside. Inside the bunker, a man thanks Elaine for bringing them to safety. He introduces himself as Colt. Elaine introduces herself, using her real name. Colt realizes she knew he was a soldier. In the sewer, Dean finds Nolan, who has been attacked. Dean learns that Jillian's mother is missing. Nolan attacks Dean, forcing a black liquid into his mouth. The soldiers return and find Dean. 1 soldier is killed. The other escapes. In the bunker, Helen collapses. Elaine and Nolan take her to the infirmary, where Bain observes something moving under her skin. Trent and Jillian arrive. Bain expresses his concerns about Helen and Elaine. In the sewer, the surviving soldier is attacked. Back in the bunker, Helen's condition worsens. Bain kills her. A snake-like creature emerges from her body. Colt and Bain decide to dispose of the body. Colt encounters Jillian, who attacks him. He kills her. Dean returns to the bunker. Jillian realizes her parents are likely dead. The soldier is killed by an alien. Bain discovers Jillian's body. Dean turns off the power. Colt encounters an alien. Bain questions Trent's whereabouts. Elaine sees an alien eating a body. Dean appears, now infected, and snake-like creatures emerge from his mouth. Trent finds Dean. Dean attacks Trent. Bain saves him. They find Elaine. Trent learns his mother is dead. Aliens attack. They escape into a tunnel. An alien attacks Bain. Trent and Jillian escape outside. A larger alien emerges from a portal. Aircraft arrive and bomb the alien.